force majeure. It's terrible to feel unaccepted by the people who are closest to you. But have those concerns ever devolved into fears? Is it a certain aspect about you so controversial that you fear abandonment from your own family? For lesbian, gay, bi, and transgender youth, there is no reality without fear. In the US, persisting prejudice against queers and mired misunderstandings about the homeless have made victims of our nation's most innocent. We are facing an invisible epidemic that targets our nation's most defenseless. And as a gay man, who's yet to come out to many family members, I understand that the fear of losing one's home because of who I am is a powerful one. I understand that the fear of losing my home because of who I am is powerful. I understand that it is very disturbing that our nation's most discriminated, in the case of the LGBT youth homeless, has become a problem too persistent to ignore. For most of us, the reality that so many queer homeless youth experience is difficult to imagine. To quote queer journalist Frank McCaplin, it is a reality of constant hunger, a reality of violence and abuse, a reality of rejection and stigma, a reality consumed with doing everything possible to survive. The United States has approximately 1.3 million individuals under the age of 18 who are considered to have no home. According to the National Conference of State Legislators, that's more than the entire population of the Trinidad and Tobago. And though only 5% of American youth openly identify as being LGBT, the percentage is 40% who are homeless. Based on a 2012 survey done by the Williams Institute, DeRusso and Gates, LGBT youth consistently report severe family conflict as the primary reason for their homelessness. This was the case for Jackie, who recently came out to her family her sophomore year of college. Jackie had a middle-class upbringing. She's a high-achieving athletic sorority girl. When she came out to her parents, the response she received before they cut all ties with her was, I don't know what we could have done for God to have given us a fag as a child. From that moment, Jackie knew that she was entirely on her own, that she had no home, no money, and no family to help her. And this was the price that she had to pay for being a lesbian. Jackie's story may not be distinctive in its particulars, but across America, it is hardly the exception. Nobody chooses bigotry, and nobody chooses homelessness, because sexuality and gender identity is not a choice. The National Alliance to End Homelessness reported that LGBT youth are at a higher risk of victimization and mental health problems than their heterosexual counterparts. As homophobic and transphobic rhetoric continues to ring loud and clear in this nation, it's important to recognize the side effect these types of words has on our children. These children may be homeless, but they are not lazy. They are not degenerates. They are children, our brothers and sisters, and they are confused and scared. Regardless of your stance on homosexuality and gender identity, we can all agree that no child doesn't deserve a home, and that no child should live life without a family. Nobody wins when a parent disowns their children, especially nobody but fear. With the economy improving and the gay rights movement actually making some pretty decent headway in terms of legal processes, there should be a decreasing trend in LGBT homeless unit individuals. Shockingly, no. The Center for American Progress explains in their 2014 article, The Forsaken, that standard age for individuals to come out becomes younger and younger. But as this trend continues to occur, the amount of people abandoned by their families or who run away from their families continues to increase. The lives of these homeless children are thrown adrift, barely kept afloat by the limited amount of resources available to them. The U.S. government allocates less than 5% of their federal homeless funds to youth specifically. Separate charity organizations that run youth shelters are overcrowded. A recent report by the National Coalition for the Homeless describes a Covenant House youth shelter in New York City designed for 350 people, but is now supporting 4,000. Shelters continue to discriminate against LGBT youth by refusing care or embarrassing them, as a Michigan shelter did by making queers wear orange jumpsuits as an identifier of who they are. We are not a country who accepts discrimination, and we are not a people who abandons their children. We will stand in the face of fear. It's time we help the downtrodden. It is time we open our arms to our brothers and sisters living on the streets, regardless of what they look like, what they identify as, and who they love. It's time to take action, using a three-pronged approach by raising LGBT youth homeless awareness, providing aid and advocacy for the homeless youth of our nation, and to become an ally for the LGBTQ. Fighting to shatter a stigma so significant and sowing suffering in our nation. You can raise awareness for the queer youth in a multitude of ways. A simple and effective way is just by bringing it up in conversation. It is by no means a lighthearted topic, but it will probably spark further discussion and action. A more direct approach is to go and call or write your congressman, or have other people do it for you by going to www.covenanthouse.com. Here you can actually donate directly to their organization on their website, or you can sign up to become an advocate so that they can make changes in Washington. Finally, you can help shatter the stigma against the LGBTQ+ community and allow us to finally remove this long-standing civil rights issue that's been plaguing our nation for so long. Anyone, whether you are religious, not religious, gay or straight, cisgender or transgender, can become an ally. The Human Rights Campaign defines an ally as someone who supports LGBTQ people. And that's the only definition they give, and it's very simple. So it's not that hard, in my opinion. If you have more questions or would like to delve deeper into the details, you can always contact your local gay, or because I am willing, as I'm sure other LGBTQ+ people are willing, to help other people better understand the LGBT community. If we did our part to raise awareness, advocate for homeless youth, and support the LGBT community, we'd be doing very little to end the fearful fact that thousands of youth who identify as lesbian, gay, bi, and transgender are homeless today. We are but a classroom of freshmen, and we couldn't realistically do too big of an impact. But don't let that discourage you. Do it because it's the right thing. Do it for your brothers and sisters. Do it to stand up in the face of fear. Ripples will eventually grow into waves, and pushing pebbles will eventually move a mountain. And change, no matter how small, is still a step in the right direction. And that, my friends, is a triumph, not something to be afraid of.